the best piece of advice I would give people, if you're in a speculative market, not necessarily a utility driven market, but a speculative market, people dollar cost average in, like they get that, right? But people don't dollar cost average out. And they also don't have a plan for that money. I didn't. I sold and was like, oh no, now I have taxes. What am I going to do with this? How am I going to offset those? Oh no, it was in my personal name. Like, you don't have those epiphanies until there's a problem. So structuring yourself from the beginning, making sure that your assets are held the right way, either in trust or in an LLC or in at least some way to be able to protect them, and mitigate taxes is an absolute necessity if you believe you're going to have millions of dollars, or a liquidity event that's that large. Lows, there was multiple that I wrote up, and I was like, oh, well, I'll sell a little bit when it gets a little bit higher. Stupid. Should have taken profits sooner. Should have scaled out again the same way that I scaled in, instead of trying to make, eke out every last penny. Anytime I've ever been greedy, excuse my French, but it's bit me in the ass. The world giveth and the world taketh away. It's you just want to make sure that you're protecting yourself, mitigating downside risk if you can, taking chips off the table. For some people, that's just their initial investment. They take that out once they see a 4 or 5x on something, and then let the rest ride on the house. And then you're at least principal protected at that point. If you are going to take additional profit beyond that, I would have a plan for it. One way to be able to mitigate the taxes and also structure it in a way where, you're buying another asset with it. Don't sell it to buy a Lamborghini. I don't think most people watching this are going to be doing those things. Most people aren't egotistical or gluttonous and I'm not saying don't do things that you've waited on, right? Like, enjoy the fruits of your labor, but at the same time, try to structure that in a way where it's in a tax advantaged way, or you're being smart about it. Or if you have to defer that gratification just a little bit longer in order to be able to do it the right way, I think that that's probably a better choice. And that's hard to do. It takes discipline to do that. So imagine, you sell some crypto, it's XRP or whatever it is when we see price appreciation. And let's say you clip a couple $1 million. And you need that $1 million or a couple $1 million to buy the home that you want, as an example. Maybe you finance the home. Okay. So, don't necessarily want to keep the wife waiting if that's what she's been waiting on. Find the home. Maybe it's, $3 million home. You got to put 600,000 down. The other 1.4, you would probably want to put in, some type of multifamily property or real estate or something to be able to offset the tax implications that you just had through a cost seg analysis on the property. Or you could put it in an opportunity zone. Opportunity zones get 100% right off the first year. You got to hold them for 5 years. And then you can, roll out of them at the end and use a 1031 to be able to continue to defer the taxes. So, work with professionals, find professionals to be able to help you navigate that. But understand what you're going to do with the profits you're taking, have a plan beforehand, and have multiple plans. Okay. There's a lot of people that have just one expected outcome, like the Dana person that says it can't get to $10. They're going to sell at $8. Okay. If the chart gaps to $100, that person's not going to have a plan for that amount of money. So have a couple different plans, have contingencies depending on the different outcomes that are going to take place. I'm confident in the outcome that I believe is going to take place, and that's what I've planned for. But that doesn't mean I don't have plans for lesser price appreciation if that's the way that it goes. So I would just work with a certified financial advisor, somebody that has their 65 or their CFA, or their CFP, somebody that can help you actually think through the tax implications, how to structure it properly, navigate that, look at life insurance or other tools and products to be able to mitigate taxes and get structured the right way. What can you do now to be proactive versus what can you do post price appreciation? You're going to be a philanthropist one way or the other. It's either going to be willing or unwilling If you want to pay it to Uncle Sam, he's going to dole it out the way that he thinks is best. Or you can make donations to, a private foundation that you set up, or a donor advised fund, or a charitable remainder trust. There's a lot of different ways that you can structure that on the philanthropic side. So, we do all of that. Again, not saying you have to work with us. I'm sure that we will be very overwhelmed when things move here, and if they move in a short period of time. We've done good to, staff up and build systems that are scalable, but there will still be frictions. It will take us time to get through everybody if there's, a rush toward the door. But we will absolutely do our best to navigate that if that's the outcome that takes place. So we're here for you if you want to use us, but there are other great professionals that are out there. We just try to aggregate them and make it very easy and streamlined to get access to the right people that do have the actual expertise to be able to help you.